Nationwide protests are beginning as we speak. We are seeing many city mayors, state governors are now protesting against what is happening. They are protesting against their own laws, their own policies, and this is causing many citizens and residents of those states to panic. Here's the reason why. States are warning other states and other large cities that this mass release of immigrants is going to cause a lot of heartbreak, is going to cause cities to see their resources become depleted. Now, I'm going to break down what's going on right now, why this is turning into a massive crisis as we see it unfold right in front of our eyes. But all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. Many city mayors are asking the Biden administration for additional resources, for more help. And the Biden administration has simply told them that we have given you help through FEMA. We've funded about $800 million. But here's the problem. Texas alone has spent $1.4 billion just sending people from certain cities to others. They've also spent more money trying to house illegal immigrants, detain them, and put up a little bit of a border wall at the U.S. southern border. But here's something I want you to understand. Other cities, not just Texas, other states are now saying this is a concern. Look at this. The New York City Mayor Eric Adams, he says the cost of migrants will destroy New York City. Not only that, New York City, Chicago, and Denver are feeling the brunt of this impact. Here's the reason why. We are seeing that Texas has sent more people to New York, to Chicago, and to Denver. Mainly because those are sanctuary cities. People were saying that, hey, we would be glad to have those people here in our city, send them our way. Well, Texas did that, and guess what? Now those cities are saying, hey, slow down. We do not have enough resources. We do not have enough shelter. We don't have enough food. You need to wait. Well, guess what? They're not waiting. Here's what's going on right now. In San Diego alone, just to give you an idea, in San Diego County, thousands of migrants have been released over the past few days. Thousands have been released onto the streets because the welcome center that they funded with $6 million of taxpayer money that had to shut down because they ran out of funding. Not only that, they say that they are expecting 2,000 more immigrants being street released within the next week. That's a problem. I want to read this to you as well. It says the FBI has warned that single military age men are going to create multiple problems here in the United States. Well, guess what was said in San Diego County? They said that in San Diego, the majority of people that were released, street released, are single military age men of all nationalities. Now I want to keep reading you this though. It says in most cities, including sanctuary cities, single men are the last to receive shelter. It is always women and children first, then families, and then single men. Let that sink in for a second. So single men, military age men, are being released from San Diego. They're going to spread out around the state or around the country. But guess what? They don't have a place to sleep. So what are they going to do? It's part of the problem. But look at this. I want to show you this because I think this is very interesting as well. Denver, they're going to close 4 migrant shelters, reducing the budget impact and need for some further cuts, but not all. It says Mayor Mike Johnson estimates that move will save up to $60 million, and 2,500 have left shelters in the last 6 weeks. That's staggering. Guess what? Denver's not done. Look at this. They say Denver may cut city workers' hours to 0 to address the migrant influx, according to a report that just came out today. So they're going to cut city workers? Interesting. Let me show you this one as well. Democratic-led cities pay for migrants' tickets to other places as resources dwindle. We've seen this in Chicago. We've seen this in New York as well, where they are secretly sending people to other cities, other countries as well. If you go to New York, and I think this is very interesting, you can pick a one-way ticket to any country. You can almost pick any country. As long as we can fly there and we can drop you off, the New York City will actually fund it. They will pay for your flight. Probably not getting first class, but they'll pay for your flight and send you to another country. Just don't come back to New York City. How crazy is that? I want to show you one other thing. Look at this. It says Democratic states and cities overrun by migrants funneled millions in COVID funding, federal COVID funding aid to support illegals. Washington State was one of the biggest ones. Washington State, I believe, spent over $300 million in federal funding from COVID aid to support illegal immigrants. And now, where's all that funding? Where's all that money? Right? Where is it? Where can we get it back? Because the Congress is asking, where is all that money? Because we could use that. We could reallocate that. Repurpose that money for other agendas. I want to read you something else. They say the FBI is warning of single military-age men. They say that's just the start of the problems. Because the FBI is also warned that single military-age men from certain countries could be coming to the U.S. in order to set up for a future attack. They say there have been reports that Iran has sent thousands to the U.S. border. We know Hezbollah has already established sleeper cells inside the U.S., and reports indicate that the Pentagon believes China has done the exact same thing. So right now, these mayors and these governors that are saying that, hey, we need to slow this down. Well, here's the thing. The Biden administration can't do it. They cannot do it without looking weak right before a presidential election. So based off of what experts are telling us at this time, they are anticipating that the Biden administration is not going to come out and do any type of executive action. Number one, because it's going to make him look weak, and they cannot allow, or they can't afford to see former President Donald Trump run the country for 4 years. Because under former President Donald Trump, he would be the one making the decisions. As of right now, all indications are pointing to President Biden is simply a puppet. He is simply acting on somebody else's or other people's behalf. Well, it looks pretty clear that's what he's doing, because when he did exactly what he wanted to do, like he promised, and he reversed all those immigration laws, guess what? Now things have flipped, and now Democrats are upset. They're furious. I want to read you one last thing. They say many states are beginning to protest against the federal government. Many state governors has asked for President Biden to pass additional legislation to send them more funding for this migrant crisis. However, the White House continues to point out they've already sent $800 million. That should be more than enough. But again, Texas spent more than $1.4 billion. New York has spent more than $200 million. And Denver in the past 2 months, according to reports, has spent $45 million. And they cannot afford any more. Currently, what we are seeing is we are about to see more and more budget cuts. We are going to see some adjustments, and this is not just in New York, Chicago, and Denver. According to experts, they say that we need to be prepared because cities, or large cities nearby, and states that border these states, that border New York, Illinois, and Colorado, they should be concerned, because as they run out of resources, those migrants will then start to spread out and move to the nearest large city or the nearest state. So, if you live in any city that is any large city around Denver, around Chicago, or around New York, be prepared. More people may be coming in. So, that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise, I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. But as of right now, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.